Throughout its sporting history, Australia has produced more than its share of men who've thrived on the competitive brutality of boxing. In terms of international achievements, Jeff Fenech stands alone. Winning world titles in 3 different weight divisions, he overshadowed the likes of Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns, becoming the first boxer to do this while undefeated. Fenech won his world titles with a savage blend of almost superhuman fitness and a tireless, relentless onslaught that reminded the old-timers of ring legends Harry Greb, Henry Armstrong and Roberto Duran. He was simply fearless between the ropes, carving a destructive path to the top of the boxing world.
So Jeff, welcome to Malta. First of all, thank you for accepting to take this interview at TVM Sport. And let's start with your Maltese connection. You were born in Australia, however, both your parents are Maltese. Do you know where they actually came from?
Yeah, my dad's Slima and my mother Birzabuja. When I was a younger boy, I came in with my mum for a holiday and was staying in Birzabuja, and I'll never forget, I went to the beach for the first day and I got bitten by a scorpion. And then my dad, who has been sick all our lives, he had a heart attack back at home and he was rushed to hospital. So we only stayed like 5 days and had to go back home. But I came here last year for the first time since then, and one day after I got home, I booked again to come this year. I'm going to come every year now. I love it.
You won't remember Malta back then, of course, because you weren't here yourself. Is Malta up to your expectations? Do you like what you see here?
Yeah, I love it. I think, look, the whole world's changed. I mean, when I was here when I was a little boy, it was just Maltese. Now, you have every race, every colour here, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's the same as in Australia. The whole world's changed because there's social media and stuff like that. And I don't know if the world's better. I don't think the world's a better place. The Malta that I've heard these stories about, and I still love it, is a completely different Malta than it is today.
Well, we're proud to call you Maltese Australian, even though, as we said, you were born in Australia. You were born and raised in Australia, and Australia is the country that made you famous in world boxing. 4 world titles in 4 different categories. Can you tell us a bit about that?
It's the craziest story because I never boxed in my life. I was an apprentice bricklayer, and one day I went to a youth club with the police. It's called the Police Youth Club, and me and some of my friends, we were looking to have a fight with some other young boys. They weren't there. In the last room I looked said boxing, so I went to look if they were in there, and you wouldn't believe it. I sat down and I heard the trainer tell somebody that they'd be good for somebody for them to box. So me being small, stupid and cocky, I said, I'll box him. So the next day I went back and boxed, and after I got bashed up. But the next day when I was there, the trainer said, have you boxed before? I said, no. He said, you're really good, you got to come back. And in my head I thought, this man wants me to get bashed up again. So I wasn't going to go, but I don't know why. I went, and in a year and a half I went to the Olympics. I was Olympic captain from Australia in the boxing. Within 1 year, 196 days, I was world champion. I think everybody in the world is born to do something. We all have a gift, and I just found mine, because like I said, I never wanted to be a boxer in my life. People tell me, was it like a dream come true? I said, I never had a dream. I wanted to be a boxer.
I've had a look at some statistics. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've had a great career. Out of a total of 33 fights, you've won 28, 21 of them by knockout.
Yeah, well, it's now 29 wins because my 4th world title. But like I said, everything happened to me so quick. I mean, when I went to the Olympics, I fought guys 200, 300 fights. I had 24 fights. Nobody could believe what I'd done. I think that's the Maltese blood, and my father's blood in me and my mum. They're both very, fighters. My parents were, my mum worked 3 jobs, my dad was sick all our lives. So I think the fighting came from my family.
Again, correct me if I'm wrong, you competed between 1984 and 2008. You are now 61. You were born in 1964, a great year. As we said, what is Jeff Fenech doing nowadays?
I'm traveling because I think life's about memories. You can have all the money you want, but when you go, you can't take it with you. But what you can take and what you can leave are memories. So I'm trying to do a lot of that. And look, I train a few young boys and I help a lot of people. But like I said, my biggest thing that I want to do now is give back to the people, because without the people that watched me and paid to watch me fight, I would have nothing. So every time I'll go to dinner or I'll look after somebody, I'll send them some wine or I'll buy them a dinner. I just want to make sure that people remember me. It's not about my boxing. I want them to remember me as a human. I want them to think that he was a beautiful person.
Well, you will definitely be remembered. You are already very well known as a sports person. However, there's been a recent development. You've just received the news that a filmmaker is actually going to do the film of your life.
Yeah, a man by the name of Matt Norman, who's done some amazing film and documentaries. Yeah, we spoke a few weeks ago and he just sent me a message today saying how even he's more impressed than he thought he was, and there's more to the movie than he thinks, because he's been going through my life and seeing all the stuff that's happened, and he's super excited to be part of it. And yeah, so today, or very soon, they'll start doing all the things for my life story.
We started off with Malta, we'll end off with Malta. Your second visit in a year's time, is it your last?
I'll be here again next year, and the year after, and the year after. I love it, yeah. And look, I walk down the street, not that people don't know me, but I feel really comfortable. And if somebody does talk to me, we talk, they knew who I was. And like I said, of course I'm from Australia, but I'm so proud of my parents' heritage. I mean, I know the history of what happened to Malta in the war, and more bombs were dropped in Malta than in the whole of Europe. And look, we're all still here, or the new people are still here. And yeah, I mean, when you talk about fighters, Maltese are the greatest fighters in the world.
Jeff Fenech, former world champion, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, Payakarun just standing there and letting Fenech hit him.
Well, the only thing that's getting Jeff Fenech tired is throwing punches.
Another warning there to Fenech to stop pushing. He's hitting Payakarun at will now. The Thai boxer is down. He's out. He's finished. It's over. Fenech is the winner. Fenech is the world champion.